Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto's Banish from Konoha and made them regret it. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, I post a brand new movie over on Anime King of What If Naruto hide his true abilities until the Chunin exams. So go ahead, check that out and enjoy guys. And remember, for new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can reply and talk back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado or wasting no more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Gar was worried about his sister as she had yet to return. That is when she arrived, as he was happy to see her. However, he noticed Naruto. Immediately Gaara noticed that something was wrong. Naruto's clothing was disheveled, and there were several holes, and they were patched together. It was almost like he had been through a hectic battle. The first thought that ran through his head, believing that his sister was probably attacked, and Naruto was probably nearby and helped her out. Yes, that is what Gaara believed. Until the story was told to him. The rage that Gaara felt was something that he was having a hard time control. Naruto Uzumaki, the one that sacrificed his blood, sweat and tears in order to help Konoha, they banished him for the Uchiha that was becoming a traitor. As Gaara noticed something as well. 6 months on being on his own, Naruto had broken down. A part of him that used to shine brightly was no longer there. However, he also noticed a closeness between Temari and Naruto, and he noticed how much Temari was trying to make him better. As they spoke about Naruto joining the Sand, Gaara accepted as he would just have to talk to the council after this, but he did not see them denying this in the slightest. So with that, Naruto was taken, as Temari brought him towards their house as she showed him around. Before he could settle though, she dragged him off again as she brought him to go shopping. Arriving at the shopping store, as Naruto didn't know what really to pick out. He was never the best in clothing, so she told him that she will take care of it, and that is what she did as she got to picking out everything. As she got some rather wonderful clothing for him. One thing that Naruto noticed, the clothing here were a lot more brighter, given the climate he believed. As he thanked her very much, but Naruto felt a bit, well, down that she was the one that was doing everything for him so far. So when they got to her house, Naruto offered to cook. It's the least that he can do for all that she's done for him so far. As she had to say, his food was amazing. The only one that knew how to cook really was Kankuro, and he wasn't a chef or anything, so having Naruto cooking in here was amazing. Later that night, she could no longer snuggle with her toys, her fluffy teddy bear, because she had gotten used to cuddling with Naruto while they were at the hotel, so she snuck into his room as she cuddled up with him. The next morning, Gaara and Kankuro came up on the site. As she quickly waked Naruto up once she got up, they thought that she would attack Naruto, seeing that they knew how Temari was, but she was the one that instigated it. As Naruto told her there was no problem with it actually, he felt a lot better. As that made her smile and blush a bit. As Naruto cooked for them downstairs, they had to say the food was amazing. Gaara had spoken to the council, as he spoke to them informing Naruto. They accepted Naruto to join the ranks, and given him the rank of Chunin, as he would be on reserves until he was ready to take part in missions, as this would be a big boost and added benefit to their village, so they would not turn him away. Naruto told Gaara about his father and who his father really was, as Gar was shocked, as he did not see it until now, but he was shocked by that, as Naruto did not want it to be public yet until he was strong enough to defend himself, as Gar promised that he would not tell anyone. Sometime later, Naruto and Temari sat on the roof, as she asked him if they could continue with their little cuddle session, as Naruto was beyond happy to say yes, as he wanted to ask her the same thing. He felt safe and nice when she was there. He trusted her more than anything else. The next morning, Chiyo came by, surprising Temari. It turns out that Chiyo knew of Naruto's parents, as they spoke for a while, as Naruto had told Temari everything about that. She did not blame him for not telling her that, as it was a personal thing, but he said that he was coming around to telling her, as he told her everything that she asked, as she felt like she got even closer to her. He even started to call her Mari-chan, giving her a cute nickname which she adored, as she started to call him Naruto-kun. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play structure for yourself, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the movie of What If Naruto Revealed His True Abilities in the Chunin exams, and enjoy that guys. And also remember, if you're new, yes I indeed have 4 channels, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. It has been 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks, Naruto has been training hard to bring his body back up to a good level. Him and Temari start to play shogi at night, as she would usually trick him by switching the pieces or stealing one off the board. It was just their fun little thing to do. And whenever she did so, Naruto simply jump and tackle her and tickle her until she gave up the pieces, as they fall asleep laughing in each other's arms on many occasions. He'd also visit Chiyo, as she told him a lot about his parents, from what she had been able to see. However, she also told him about her resentment for Konoha, as she hated the village. She'd even start to give Temari medical lessons. It turns out that Chiyo was the second greatest medical ninjutsu user in the elemental nation, as Nade was the first, seeing that she had bested all her poisons during the Second Great Shinobi War. As Naruto was going through the kata's first father fighting style, when a gust of wind was sent towards him, as he flipped away and turned to see Temari. He blushed as he saw her new attire. She was wearing a blue battle kimono with a deep neck cut that was mostly covered by the Anvu armor over it, and a red belt tied around her waist that was fluttering in the air, and a slit on both sides of the skirt, showing off her tan legs, finishing it off with her high sandal, as Naruto was taken by her sight. "Hey Mari-chan," said Naruto, as she walked over towards him. They had sparred a couple of times in taijutsu. Taijutsu was Temari's weakness. She was more a long-range fighter given her fan and majority of her techniques. However, there was a fighting style for her family that none of them had really specialized on, seeing that almost every member of her family always had some specialized long-range jutsu. Gaara with his san, Conqueror with his puppet, her father with his san, and she with her fan. So the taijutsu was never really focused on by any one of them, but she was starting to take a bit notice in it, to make sure she had all of her weakness covered. "Let's have a spar," she said to him, as Naruto obliged. She jumped backwards before she opened her fan to her first moon. She twirled and swung it towards him, as a massive gust of wind came towards the blonde. As Naruto brought his hand up, creating 2 clones. As they held their hand, Naruto stepped right in the palm as they threw him high in the sky, above Temari's attack. Now in mid-air, Naruto launched 2 kunais towards her that he pulled from his pouch. Seeing them coming, Temari smirked as he brought his hand together and created a horde of clones down below. So he was trying to trick her. She opened her fan even more. "Wind style," she said. "Wind side jutsu," as she spun, creating a massive gust that dispelled all the clones. She blinked when she realized he was no longer in mid-air. Where did he? She felt something wrap around her waist, as it was Naruto's arm, as he placed a kunai against her. "Eel, Mari-chan," said Naruto. She slowly turned in his embrace, as Naruto got a bit flustered seeing that they were so close, starting to take notice into many things now. However, she used that as her opportunity as she kicked away his feet, as she pinned him down to the ground, as she sat on his waist, looking down towards him, her hands holding him down. "You lose, Naruto-kun," she said. As Naruto looked at her, his eyes moved down towards her lips, Yeah, you win, he said. An impulse seemed to take over his body as he leaned upwards and kissed her. Temari was taken aback as their lips connected. As Naruto was only going by his impulse right now, his mind not really sending him that much signals. His impulse, his body just moving in. Her lips had just captivated him. As Temari started to lean into the kiss as well, they broke apart and engaged once again, as they were like that for a few minutes until they separated. Their cheeks were flush. Their whole body felt hot as they looked at one another. As Naruto had felt it, he had developed so much feelings for her, and this was not the petty, stupid crush that he had back in Konoha. However, Mari-chan, said Naruto. She said. We should stop this, said Naruto. That made her back away. Why? Didn't you like it? Of course, said Naruto. Then what's wrong? It's just... Well, you're the princess of the village, said Naruto, as he looked down in shame. Having been, well, what he's been through for the past 6 months, well, not even that, majority of his life, as Naruto didn't really see that much of a big boost on his part. So why should she settle for someone like him? He had no confidence in himself. Absolutely none. And, well, I am just... She cut him off as she kissed him. When she broke apart, she looked at him with a stern look. I really like you, Naruto, she said. I have never felt this way about any guy before. I trust you. And when you hold me, I feel safe. I don't even fully let my guard down in front of my brothers. But with you, it's different. A feeling I can't even explain. I don't know what it is, but I want you to hold me forever. I can't even sleep without holding you. And when I'm with you, I feel vulnerable, open. But the simplest touch that you lay on my skin, I feel like I can do anything. You treat me wonderfully. In fact, you treat me like a princess. You cook for me, telling me how beautiful I am. You never even glance at me in an undecent way. And behind all that pain, that caring in your eyes, you're willing to sacrifice your food for me. Despite knowing that it was all that you had left, you're a gentle, kind soul. And that's just some of the things I like about you, she said. So yeah, I like you. It doesn't matter what my title is, where I'm from, it doesn't matter. None of it does. Because I like you. As she leaned in and kissed him once again. As Naruto held on to her, his arms wrapped around her tight, she did the same for him. As Naruto felt a sensation, a feeling bloom in his heart. Something that just seemed to explode. At first, it wasn't that strong. He knew that he was crazy about her, but the thought of her, well, not liking him back, or maybe he was just taking her pity for liking, but he was wrong, she liked him. And this feeling was overwhelming as their kiss deepened. The both of them got a bit hot and heavy as Naruto planted kisses on her neck. As they were like that for a few minutes, holding each other tightly, alone in their own personal world. When the both of them separated, Temari started to giggle as she looked towards herself. She was a mess. Her clothing pulled apart, not really off, but it was just all over the place. Her hair, from him running his hand through it, as it made Naruto laugh as well. Seeing her laugh made his heart flutter. That was my first time kissing someone, and I can say that not many girls could say that their first time was that amazing, said Temari, as she leaned into his embrace. Hey, does this mean that you're my girlfriend now, said Naruto. It's that, well, I don't really know that much about relationships. So as she cut him off. Of course, you idiot, she said. As I said, I like you. I don't care about the way others go and date. We're not them. Things can be different for us. As Naruto sent her a passionate smile at that. Well, I won't release you either, said Naruto. I'm not sure what this feeling is because I've never felt it before. But it's amazing. Just looking at you. Just hearing your voice. I can feel my heart is literally trying to jump out of my chest. Temari's cheek turned red like she was about to explode. Hearing how much he cared for her, she snuggled up into him, as the both of them held each other. Sometime later, the both of them were making their way as they exit the training ground area, entering into the shopping district. Temari wrapped her arm around his as she rests her head on his shoulder, as people start to glance and whisper. However, the two did not care in the slightest, as they simply made their way home. Arriving, she took off the on-full armor, as she was left in her underclothing. As she stood there with him as Naruto started to make dinner. "Do you need any help?" she asked. As she didn't really know how to cook, but she just wanted to be close to him. This feeling was just so infectious. As Naruto grabbed her arm and spun her around, making her heap, as he held her close to his chest. He then placed his chin over her shoulder before he placed a knife in her hand, as he started to help her. She was really good with the chopping parts. After all, she was a full-fledged kunoichi who was used to handling a kunai or blade. As the both of them teased with each other and giggled, that was a scene that Kankuro and Gaara came in on. Both of them had to make sure that they were seeing someone that was actually their sister, or if it was some kind of imposter. "I guess they finally got together," said Kankuro. "Huh. I wonder, what has Naruto done with the real Temari?" Gaara said, actually making a joke. Temari overheard them though. "What do you guys say?" as she turned towards them. Kankuro was not gonna chance it as he ran away. The last time he chanced it, he got slapped with that fan of hers. Not again. As Gaara glanced towards Naruto. "Take care of my sister," he said. As Naruto nodded to him. As both him and Temari continued what they were doing, as Gaara left the two. Once everything was done, and Kankuro and Gaara got something to eat as well. As Naruto and Temari were already gone, having their fill already, they were both in the bed. As they lied down with each other, almost fused together the way they were so close to wrap. "Good night, Naruto-kan," she said. "Good night, Mari-chan," said Naruto. As the both of them fell asleep, right in each other's arms. As they fell into a blissful, wonderful sleep. Time skip. 1 month later. The rays of sunshine flicker over his eyes as Naruto opened said eyes, slowly closing them because of the sunlight. When he felt the weight on top of him, looking down he saw that familiar sandy blonde hair as he smiled. As he started to comb his hand through her hair. It's been over a month, the most wonderfulest month of his entire life, as Temari snuggled deeper into him. Over the past month, she had been on various missions, as she and Naruto barely had some alone time together. Yesterday she had been promoted to Jonin. Her skills were high enough and the forces needed her, as her promotion was unanimous. When it came to the Shinobi Council, not only her name but the respect that she held, and her skills and her performance and her strategic mind, she was a wonderful Jonin. As Temari slowly started to come to, she was dressed in a white t-shirt along with her underwear. As she felt Naruto's hand combing through her hair gently, as she felt him laying a kiss on her forehead, it was amazing to wake up like this. As she had trusted him so much that over the past month, she had become comfortable enough to wear only a t-shirt and underwear while sleeping with him. And never once has he done something that would make her feel uncomfortable, or had he tried anything. They both did not try to move on to that part of their relationship yet, as they were both not ready yet. And despite that, everything was just so amazing. But she could tell that this, what she had here with him, it was real. And he had shown that and proved that over the past month. Flashback. Temari was dead tired, as her ranks were raising every now and then, showing that she was a competent ninja, raising her status as a kunoichi to prove that she can handle more higher and dangerous missions. As she had just returned from a mission, she was tired, exhausted, as Naruto had just returned not too long ago before her, as he knew that she would be coming home tired, so he had cooked for her. As he told her to go and get washed up and then come to the room in a towel, she was confused by that, but she trusted him. Once she was finished in the bathroom, she came out, as she wrapped herself in a towel as she lay on the bed. As she saw Naruto, he sat down beside her. Her eyes were closed because of how tired she was. "So, what are you about to do, Naruto-kan?" she said. "Why did you ask me to just get in a towel?" "You've been so stressed over the months," said Naruto. "I can see it. And your body needs time to rest. Let me take away that stress for you," said Naruto. She felt him apply a wet substance to her shoulder. as she felt the thing being sink into her flesh, as Naruto started to massage it in. He was giving her a massage as she started to work out the kinks in her shoulders. She felt herself literally melting into his touch. Naruto-kun, she said, feeling the sensation running through her. You didn't have to do this. She knew that he was training himself, not to mention he cooked for her. I don't mind at all, just relax, said Naruto, as she leaned into the touch as she moaned in delight. Naruto-kun, she said, yes, Haim. You scare me sometime, you know. And why is that, Haim? He said. The amount of control you have over me, with just your touch and your whispers. It's too much. You know, if you want, I would give myself to you, she said. As Naruto kept up the massage, she kept on moaning in delight. I will never touch you in the wrong way, or anything that you're not ready for, said Naruto. She pulled herself up and she kissed him on the lips. I know, she said. As Naruto started to work on her calves, Temari felt like she was in heaven, as her whole body felt like it was turning into mush. It was so much. Once Naruto was done, Temari couldn't feel her legs. Her body had went into a relaxed state that she could barely move. Changing into his sleeping clothes, the both of them wrapped themselves around each other. The moment he went on the bed, she kissed his lips, thanking him once again for all that he's done. As Naruto kissed her back with as much passion, to show her that he didn't mind doing it for her. His feelings for her were growing by the day, and getting deeper and deeper. In the flashback, as Temari awoke and stretched, smiling at him. Morning, Mori-chan, he said to her. Morning, Naruto-kun. Hey, Naruto-kun, she said, as Naruto looked towards her. Why don't you take the day off today? I mean, I just got promoted. Let's celebrate my promotion, she said. Besides, we haven't even had our first date yet. As Naruto thought about it, given the schedule, they hadn't had their first dates. They've been together a lot of time, but they hadn't went out and had their first dates. Alright, he said. When they went downstairs, though, they saw that the other two were already eaten, as Naruto was confused, as he realized he had ordered from delivery. But he thought, do you like his cooking? As they saw his questioning face, we figured that you might be too tired to cook, so we decided to order out. As Naruto simply nodded, as both him and Temari sat down. Yeah, after those noises we heard last night, we figured that you two might be too tired, Kankuro said. As Temari started to blush, until that blush turned into anger towards Kankuro's comment, and his insinuation. As Gaara turned his gaze towards Naruto. Uzumaki, you did not hurt her or force her, did you? If you weren't gentle to her last night, I swear. As he was giving Naruto a stare. As Naruto tilted his head, I was quite gentle, I think. Did I hurt you, Haim? Naruto asked. As Temari blushed red. Neither of them thought exactly what they were thinking about. Naruto thought that they were just talking about the massage, but that is not what they were talking about. Listen, Gaara, and you too, she said, looking towards Kankuro. You are both wrong in your assumption. We did not do that. So get your minds out of the gutter. I see, said Gaara. So what was it then, Kankuro said. A massage. Oh? What kind of massage? He said, raising an eyebrow as he spoke. Kankuro, she said with a growl. Kankuro's eyes widened, as his screams could be heard all throughout the village. As Naruto stood there, watching Kankuro get the crap beat out of him. Maybe he kind of deserved it. And besides, it's good to let Temari let off some steam every now and then. As Gaara ignored the screams of the puppeteer, as he sat down and eat. Hey, Temari, said Naruto once. She had sat back down, as Kankuro was left on the ground. I have an idea for the date. If you like to hear it. Yeah, sure, she said. As Naruto was rather shy when it came to the whole dating thing. He did not have that much experience. In fact, he had none. None at all. I want to make it a surprise, said Naruto. Alright, she said. You surprised me today. As Gaara smiled, seeing the both of them so happy. He was happy for his sister and happy for Naruto as well. A few hours later, as Naruto sealed away some food that he had made, as he waited for Temari to come down. Temari came down in a thigh-length white kimono with blue lilies inscribed on it. Her hair was done in a loose bun, with a senbon holding it in place. Two bangs came down framing her face, as she was wearing black, low heels. as she looked at him with a curious gaze, seeing Naruto staring at her. "So, how do I look?" she said, a bit embarrassed despite she shouldn't be feeling this, but yet, as his gaze was observing her, he walked over towards her. He was quiet for a long while. "Sorry about that," he said. "I couldn't really say anything at first. I guess your beauty really took my breath away." As Temari looked away, her cheeks were too red to look at him right now. He could say these things that seemed a bit corny, but yet, they always made her body melt. Damn it, she thought to herself, as a sweet smile played on her lips. "Idiot," she said to him. "Really? So I'm an idiot to believe in that my Heim is the most beautiful woman to ever walk this earth? Yes, you're still an idiot. But you're my idiot," she said. As Naruto then scratched the back of his head. "Sorry about my clothing," he said. "I didn't realize that I should dress up for a date." "No, I chose your clothing, remember? You look handsome as this," she said. "Besides, I'd rather not having to go into a bloodbath with those other girls I knew." As Naruto chuckled at that. So what if he did not do the normal things that another guy would do on a date? That is what made him more special. He was hers. His kind, innocent eyes and his loving heart made up for anything. As Naruto chuckled, "Why? You afraid someone might steal me?" he said. "Let them try. I'll pulverize them," she said, clenching her fists, making Naruto chuckle even more. "Well, let them try as they might," said Naruto. "You're the only one I have eyes for. So, shall we?" "Yes, we shall," she said, as she took his arm, and with that they made their way. As they walked, most of the shop owners greeted and waved at them. They've quickly become one of the most populous couple in the village, as Naruto's name had been spreading all around. Temari's reputation boosting his own. A lot of the guys who were chasing after Temari slowly started to disengage, realizing that they would never have her. And besides, none had the balls to stand against Gaara. So they were the cowards that did not make their move, and now someone else had taken her away, as some of them just felt ashamed. However, Temari was not the only one, as there was a few girls in the village that started to take notice of Naruto, given his whisker marks that has never been seen by anyone else. As no one in this village possessed whisker marks, several of them had complimented him on it, telling him how cute he looked. However, Naruto took this like a normal compliment, but Temari saw the way they were looking at him, the blush on their face. However, Temari had scared them off, so they started to watch from the shadows, making sure not to step there, as Temari could be really frightening when she wanted to be. "So, where are we going, Naruto-kun?" she asked, her head resting on his shoulder. He's been in the village for quite some time now, so he was able to key out a few spots that look rather amazing. "It's a surprise, Heim," said Naruto, "but I think you're gonna like it. I found it myself last week." Her curiosity was piqued as they walked towards the residential area of the village. "Now close your eyes," said Naruto. She looked towards him. "Come on," he said. "Alright, fine," she said, closing her eyes. Naruto held her hand and guided her, as she almost tripped a few times, but he held her tight, making her giggle, as she felt the air getting colder and colder. It was then that she smelled wet, muddy soil, as she heard the trees. She then heard the sound of water, as they came to a stop. "Alright, we're here. Alright, open." Her eyes widened in shock when she saw the location. They were in a massive cave. It was large as her estate. As trees were inside, there was a small crack, allowing a stream of water to come down like a waterfall. Glancing, she saw several small cubs, tiger cubs. One of them walked towards her. She was shocked at how cute it was. As it rubbed its head against her leg, it was really friendly. She looked towards Naruto, who motioned for her to pet it, as she did, petting as she ran her hand right through him. His fur was so soft, as he curled up against her leg. "Where are we?" she said. This place was not one that she knew of. "Well, a week ago," said Naruto, "I tried to summon, but I was end up reverse summoned to the realm of the White Tiger," said Naruto. "Their leader, Fenrir, accepted me as their summoner, and came to see where I live. He can become small like a normal tiger, and walk around. He said that this place is too barren for the summoner of the White Tiger clan. He came with me here and saw this small hill, and asked me to break it at a certain point, so I drilled through it with a Rasengan. And there was this opening to this cave that is... I'm still surprised how large it is. He then reversed several of the tigers here, They used their skills over natural energy that they said they will train me in the future and change the place inside into this. I opened up some holes using environment seals, and there you have it, said Naruto. Wow, said Temari. I spoke to Gaara about this, and he purchased his land for me. Once I have enough money, I'll pay him back, said Naruto. At the moment, this place is restricted by heavy Uzumaki seals, only able to monitor and enter by my chakra and yours. I want to build a house here, said Naruto, and also raise a family here. This is a really great place to raise our family. As Naruto blinked, hearing her say that. So, are you saying that you want to raise a family with me, said Naruto. His voice was nervous. Yes, of course, she said. You're the only one that I want to spend my life with. That is if you want to. As Naruto did not answer, instead he pressed his lips against hers, showing how much he would like that. Once he pulled back though, she saw that he had tears in his eyes. Why are you crying? What's wrong? She said. It's not tears of sadness, it's actually tears of joy, said Naruto. Through majority of my life, the things I've been told, I never thought that I would actually have a family in the future. But now hearing you say those words, I can't help it. As the both of them sat down right in the luscious grass, she held on to him. I love you, Mari-chan, said Naruto. And I love you too, Naruto-kan, she said, as they sat to one another. As Naruto unsealed a lunch, the both of them had the most amazing time. They spoke, they eat, they laugh. Everything was just so serene, so beyond wonderful. It felt perfect, as he had made all of her favorite dishes. Temari was happy. As they sat there, they eat, enjoying their time. Time skip. The relationship bloomed from then on. As the days turned to weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. Before they knew it, 3 years passed by just like that. As we dive into the hidden leaf at the Hokage's office, Tsunade was sitting in her office, as there were black lines under her eyes. It was a lack of sleep. As she went through the paperwork, she had been hit the hardest by Naruto banishment. She had resorted to sake as a relief, drinking sake to get rid of the pain. However, that was just temporary. The only one that could overthrow this was a feudal lord. However, he would not get his hand wrapped up in such a futile matter like that again because of the accusations that the council brought to him. Her attitude towards the council had become vicious. No, downright deadly. As she was broken out of her musing, as Shizune told her the council was called, she clenched her fists. She hated every second that she wasted with those bastards. Time skip. Council chambers. They were gathered in a large room. The civilian side sat to the left, the shinobi side sat to the right, along with the elders as Tsunade came in and sat at the head of the seat. Once she entered, they stopped talking. Alright, who called this meeting and why? And trust me, there better be a good reason, or else I won't be really happy, she said. As her glare narrowed around the room. We call this meeting, Tsunade, Koharu said. It's Hokage-sama to you. And remember that the next time you speak to address me, said Tsunade. Now tell me, why was this meeting called? Her tone was vicious towards them. They knew how vicious she had come since the banishment. As Koharu sweat at the threat that she was sent, the look in her eyes from Tsunade. My apologies, Hokage-sama, she said. But we have some important information and some situations that we would like to address with you. Tsunade nodded, motioning for her to continue on. As you know, Hokage-sama, since last year our alliance with the Spring and Wake country has been in turmoil. And for the past 2 years, and now they have finally broken all alliances because the 3-year trade that we have assigned to agree with has expired, and when it came time to renewal, they completely reject of signing back with us again. And they have signed themselves with the sand completely. It is said that they've even gotten a better contract than us from them. How so, said Tsunade, as Homura spoke up next. Earlier in our alliances, we were only allied for a mutual trading contract. It was a give and take sort of relationship. They supplied us with their resources and we comply to the contract supply them with the native resources of Land of Fire, he said. Snevy nodded as she already knew that as he continued. But their alliance with the Sun is completely different. Since the Sun is not as rich in the native plantation that we possess, they've decided to give their own resources in return. Snevy looked at him confused. And what is the problem with that, she asked, as Koharu spoke up. Since the Sun is only rich in metals or precious stones, they have put in the alliance to give those to them at a lesser price, to get their resources in return. In reconciliation, as Snevy understood what they were saying, the Sun was gaining resources and even managed to sell them their own, while the Leaf was only exchanging the exchange price laid down in the alliance, which gave the Sun the deal to manage their own prices, which meant the Sun had complete control. As Koharu continued on, moreover, Spring and Wave has put in their terms in the alliance that the Sun will provide them with military might if they need it, making them the only village that gets their contract for missions and other employees that they work with. The daimyo is pretty upset at losing such precious alliance with us, and after hearing the benefits that our allies are getting, he's demanding answers. Snevy had to say it was quite a great deal. The Sun must have had a great negotiator to pull something like that off. Well, that is bad news that we lost such great alliances for trade, but it is good news that we did not lose out to one of our enemy villages. Do you have any idea why they would decide to end the alliance with the Hidden Leaf? The elders glanced at one another for a moment before they shook their head. As Snevy narrowed her eyes, they knew something. She decided to dismiss the council until Danzo spoke up. Actually, there's one more issue that we like to discuss, Danzo said, as she motioned for him to continue. We have come across some new information about the security deployed in the Sand Village. Snavy's eyes narrowed. And how would you have come across some top secret information about the village security system? That is not important. The issue at hand is, he said, as he realized that she was on to him. However, she wanted to hear what he has to say as she kept that in her back pocket for later. Continue, she said. They have erected a new barrier system that is similar to ours in many ways. The clan heads protested that they must have stolen it from Leaf, but Snevy told them to be quiet as she told Danzo to continue. It could not have been stolen from us, since it's a much better system than ours. The room became deadly silent. The Leaf internal system was the best, and they pride themselves in it. If the Sand had created a better system, then that was news to the world about the might of the Hidden Village. Our system only tells us if a shinobi has entered the village or not, but their system allows them to instantly become alert in case a breach and the location of the intruder, which the people of the village Chakra signatures, has been added into their system, making it impossible for anyone to breach the Sand that is not within the system. They have made their village into a fortress. They can see the world, but the world cannot see what is going on within the village. Their system is unbreachable. The whole council was at a loss for words, shocked by that. Moreover, in the previous years, their quality of sealing equipment have increased drastically. Their exploding tags are much more powerful than before, almost 3 times the strength of ours. And their other sealing equipment have increased in their complexity, much more than ours. Looks like this is the work of someone that possesses extreme knowledge on ninjutsu. Shikaku spoke up. But how? The Sand was never known for their sealing arts. Lady Cho was their last sealing master, and she does not even hold a candle to Master Jiraiya in sealing, and he's just a level 8 master. Plus, where did they gain the knowledge of such high level ninjutsu to train a sealing master? Hayashi said as everyone nodded. To make that much of a difference in such a small amount of time was truly remarkable. But how could it be? Our seals were handed down to us by the first Hokage himself. Shikaku said. Please, said Snevy. My grandfather wasn't a sealing master at the level to create such high quality seals handed down to us. Everyone was confused as she continued. All of the complex seals were handed to us by my grandmother Mito Senju, former Mito Uzumaki, once of the great Uzumaki clan, land of Uzu. The barrier seal was a gift from the elders of Uzu. Once the alliance between the two villages were brought forward because of the marriage between my grandparents. The symbol that we wear on the Jonin vest on our back is the spiral of the Uzumaki clan in honor of the alliance that was formed. It has all been recorded and kept safe in the history of the Senju archives. However, during the Second Great Shinobi War, Uzo was attacked and destroyed by a joint massive army from Kieri, Kumo, and the Hidden Stone. Due to their fear of the Uzumakis and their Funjutsu, they sent for help to Konoha, but we did not have the force to spare, and by the time we reached there, Uzo was already destroyed in ruins. The whole village was wiped out. My grand uncle felt ashamed at not being able to do anything to save the nation, as he erased several things out of Konoha archives about Uzumaki clan, only keeping it within the Senju archives. All of them were shocked by this, as the truth about it was kept a secret, because of the shame from Tobirama and what he felt back then. Hey, wasn't Naruto Uzumaki? Was he related to the clan as well? Asked Shikaku. As Shikaku kind of remembered another Uzumaki. As he remembered her name, it was Kushina if he was not mistaken. His heritage was only known to the third, and he took it with him to the grave. Only Naruto himself knows of it, as the third left a wooden seal box to him, which I handed over to him at the time of his banishment. It could have been a way for the third to honor the once great clan or something else, but we will never know, as the memories came back. However, Shikaku was in deep thoughts, as he started to remember that girl from a long time ago, Kushina. She acted like a bit of a tomboy, always getting into fights. However, there was someone that she was always around. Shikaku froze. His mind started to whirl. Blue eyes, blonde hair, that night. Wait, it can't be. As Shikaku had a frightened, shocked look on his face. What's the matter, Shikaku? You have something to say? As Tsunade saw the man getting up, and all worked up. He sat back down. No, Hokage-sama, he said. Just remember something about my wife. He said as several clan heads snickered. Tsunade knew that he was lying through his teeth though. Shikaku realized that anything that was said about it now was probably a waste of time. The boy was probably dead. There was nothing about him for the past 3 years. And if this news were to broke, what they did, what they let happen to that child, that he couldn't even think of that. It brought him great pain to even think of that. They had driven away the prince with such royal blood without even realizing it. So what are we gonna do about it, Homura said. Do about what? Said Tsunade. About the Sen, of course. Something must be done about them. I'm sorry, I don't follow, said Tsunade. What do you mean? They're getting too powerful. We must do something, Danzo said. Tsunade's glare became furious. We will do nothing of the sort. They are the only major village that is completely neutral to Konoha. And the Kazekage is coming in a few days to make the final negotiation of the alliances that the Sand Council has been delaying for the past 2 years. Now that I know their strength and the alliance as a whole, I want to make this work even more. The others are thinking about ways to gain power from the Sand. However, Tsunade just want to ensure that their alliance remain as strong. I have a way for the alliance to work, Hokage-sama, Danzo said. She glanced towards him as she motioned for him to go on. Why not forge the alliance the same way your grandfather did with Uzu? A marriage proposal, she said, as Danzo nodded. But for that to be even considered, both parties must have an important figure to be married. And who do you have in mind, she said. Already know who he was thinking of. Why not propose the marriage between Sasuke Uchiha, the last Uchiha of Konoha, with the Sharingan, along with Temari, the daughter of the former Kazekage, also sister of the 5th Kazekage. It should hold the alliance firm and we benefit from gaining a strong Kunoichi with royal blood. And she will be a perfect bride for Sasuke because he too desire for a strong, powerful wife to help rebuild his clan. Tsunade thought about it. Mobuki Haruna was pissed off. Her daughter had a thing for Sasuke and she wanted her daughter to end up with the last Uchiha. But why would they even consider sending her here? What do they gain in return? Said Tsunade. They gain a stronger alliance and the support of Leaf, the loyalty of the Uchiha clan, as well as the hands of the Uchiha heir in marriage. That should definitely be enough for them to be convinced. We also give her dual citizenship so she can return to her village whenever she likes. And imagine if any of her children were to awaken the Jinten Kick Genkai that runs in her family. that 3 of their Kazekagis are feared for. Along with the Sharingan, it will create powerful offsprings. As a whole, council started to agree. Snare clenched her fist at the thought that the man was thinking to breed children just for their power and eyes. It pissed her off. Seeing his smug face, she just wanted to go over there and rip it off. However, she had to be civil. Alright, I will speak to the Kazekage once he's here, she said. Is there anything else we should discuss? As no one had anything else. This meeting is dismissed, she said. Shizune arrived back to the office as she found Snare drinking. The thought of Naruto brought up some bad memories which caused her to drink, as she went in to speak with her master. As Snare wondered where he was, or if he was even alive. She had sent several envoys, but none of them came back with anything on him. But she was not ready to believe, even after all these years, that he was dead. She just was not. Meanwhile, the barbecue shack in Konoha, the rookies were all gathered. The only person that was not there was Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke had become even more of a loner ever since he was brought back, and had his curse mark removed by Jiraiya even after his protest. Shikamaru had a thoughtful look on his face as Ino decided to question it. "What's on your mind?" she said. "You have that look again." "Nothing. Just thinking about the delegation that is about to come from the San. This year Leaf and San are co-hosting Chunin exams, with the first 2 parts here and the last part in the San. I'm just wondering who will be in charge of it from their village." "Why? Do you want that Sand Princess Temari to be the one?" she asked in a slight tone as he threw her a glare. It was a touching point for him. He liked her, but she had not pursued any of his advances, which confused him. "You know she doesn't want anything to do with me. She made that pretty clear when we met up a couple of years ago." As Ino remembered Temari giving him the cold shoulder, she decided to change the topic as she turned towards Sakura, who was just quietly plating her food. "So Sakura, has Nade-sama decided to take you on as her apprentice?" "No," said Sakura. "She told me that she doesn't see anyone worthy from a Leaf, and that I should just continue on with the hospital." As Sakura just kept on poking at her food, until Neji spoke up. "Have you guys heard about the broken alliance from the Wave and Spring?" Sakura grimaced as she placed her spoon down. "What's wrong?" asked Hinata, glancing towards her. "It's most probably due to Naruto," Sakura said. Her voice was low. "All of them were reminded of the way they treated him those years ago. It brought back some horrible, dreadful memories. They never thought that he would get banished. For his mistakes, yes, they were upset. But banished, that was too much." As for Sakura, Sasuke had made it clear to her, really clear the last time they met up. No one knew the details of what happened, but after the both of them had spoken to each other, Sakura instantly lost her crush for Sasuke, shocking everyone, and she started to feel depression on what she said to Naruto all those years ago. She now missed him and his cheerful attitude, as he always cheered her up when she was feeling down, making her feel better. When she came off her high from her fantasy world, the things that she said, now she was depressed. Hinata also felt horribly with herself. She wished that she could go against her father, that she had the courage to meet the blonde before he was banished, and told him how she felt. However, they all regret their words though, but there was a high chance that he was dead. Sakura had been able to build up the courage to ask Nade if she could go and try and find him, but the woman had lashed out at her and asked her if she hadn't done enough, and sent her away. As Shikamaru regretted his words deeply, thinking about how stupid it was for him to take out his frustration. He was stressed about the mission, he was stressed about thinking that he got his comrades killed, and he needed an outlet to vent out on, so he used Naruto as that outlet back then. He had no right to do so, and he was ashamed of doing so. However, Sasuke's got even more arrogant. He told them that they were nothing but a waste of his time, as he had cut all of them off, getting Kakashi as his personal trainer. The villagers treat him more like a prince now, seeing that they want him to remain here. He was treated like some gift from Kami himself, as that got him to become arrogant past a normal degree, as he had been promoted to Jonin not too long ago, giving him the rank and boost that he needed. The council want him to remain here. All of those civilian members in the council, they believe, well, Sasuke was Kami himself. However, soon enough, very soon, they were all going to see The problems that they started some time ago. They were all gonna feel the backlash of their actions. Sakura finally realizing how much she had hurt Naruto and discarded him. However, it was too late. He was gone. He was different. But he was not too far away though, because he would be returning. Yes, he would be returning. And Konoha was gonna know what they banished, and they were going to sorely regret it. But they would not take it easy though. Shame regret was something that humans use to bring forward anger. Let's see how they react next time, because I'm gonna be ending this episode right here, guys. Yes. More episodes, more to come, guys. So just, yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy. And also, don't forget to go ahead and check out What If Naruto Reveal His True Abilities in the Chunin Exams, yes, over an Anime King. And also a movie over Anime Prince, guys, of Harry Potter and Naruto, yes guys, a crossover between those two series. So yeah, without wasting more time, I'm over for now. See you guys soon. Peace.